Hello, my friends. Good afternoon, good morning, good night, whatever time it is in the place where you're at. Um, anyways, I decided to publish this video because I see this is the 30th of December, 2023. Uh, we are at a turning point in our country, and one of the biggest questions before us at this time has been popping up, which is going to go to the Supreme Court, etc. Is, well, actually, did Trump participate in an insurrection on January 6th? Now, in order to be able to solve this question on ourselves, because I know SCOTUS is going to come up with their own solution, I don't know what it is. They do not always use logic, but mostly political opinions. But anyways, what I do think, okay, we have a definition for us. We already have a legal definition. This is in the from the law.cornell.edu. I put the shortcut there for you guys to follow it if you want to at some point. But the definition that they give us is if two or more persons in any state or territory or any place subject to the jurisdiction of the United States conspire to overthrow, put down, or to destroy by force the government of the United States, or to levy war against them, or to oppose by force the authority thereof, or by force to prevent, hinder, or delay the execution of any law in the United States, or by force to seize, take, or possess any property of the United States contrary to the authority thereof, they shall each be fined under this title or imprisoned not more than 20 years or both. So here we have the definition of insurrection. Now, again, let's go at it, take it a piece at a time, so we can go ahead and determine the facts of the matter. What is an insurrection? Two or more people. Have we met that standard? Yes, there were thousands of participants, not just in the physical assault of the Capitol, but in the logistical organization of motivating and organizing towards a common goal. This was not just a protest that got out of hand, that had no particular objective. People had tools to carry out goal further than just protesting. They were ready to take prisoners, and as stated, one of the most common goals that was there is hang my pence. This was an objective that had, of course, other unspoken objectives in its sight, not just hang my pence, which I don't know if it might or might not have become a fact. But the objective of it was not just to hang my pence, but as we will see, there were further objectives. These objectives were expressed by some other people within Congress. Now, let's put this aside, and again, what is an insurrection? Another component that we saw of the insurrection is to conspire to overthrow, put down, or destroy, keyword, by force. We do not need to have weapons. That's not a requirement. Just the use of force to overthrow, put down, or destroy the government of the United States. Now, what is more destructive than to use false rhetoric to invalidate votes that had already been cast and counted using lies, deceit, and claiming that there were thousands and millions of illegal votes which failed former President Trump and his henchmen were never able to prove in a court of law? Over 60 times. Since they failed in court, they then chose to do it by force. See, if they had stopped at the court, that would have been fine. But then Trump decided to motivate his people to go by force to prevent, hinder, or delay the execution of any law of the United States, which in this case is the law of the certification of votes. Now, again, what is an insurrection? To oppose by force the authority of the United States government. One thing is to oppose the legislation of the government by legal means. Another is to underhandedly force to invalidate and oppose by force what the people of the United States have already determined. Trump was allowed to challenge in court, and he did challenge in court many times, but he failed to bring in anything other than essentially bathroom gossip and at times insignificant numbers, which would fail to upset the already decided election. Now, once he saw his failure through the legal courts, then he decided to use force. This became then a part of the definition of an insurrection because it was directed exactly at the voting process going on, which procedure is determined by law by the government of the United States, and using violence, force, to try to prevent, hinder, and or delay its results. So, what is an insurrection? Again, another part, using force to prevent, hinder, or delay the execution of any law of the United States. This is the final component of an insurrection, using force to prevent or delay the execution of any law of the United States. Now, who was this law meant for? Makes no difference. The fact that failed former President Trump was the central executor and facilitator and motivator of this activity. Now, he had a lot of participants, but let's be real, so did El Chapo. El Chapo Guzman, he never personally transferred any drugs to the USA, yet he is considered responsible for drug trafficking. I am sure the law was not written for El Chapo, but El Chapo met all the qualifiers. Thus, he is right now serving time for breaking the law. Now, we can easily apply the same parallel to Trump. The activity we have legally qualified as an insurrection was met by the process that he directed and spearheaded on January 6. By conclusion, former failed President Trump is an insurrectionist and deserves to pay the price for spearheading such activity. Now, we would indeed be qualified as a banana republic if we allowed such a criminal to get away just because he was the president at the time. The weight of justice must apply equally at all levels, unless we become another third world corrupt country where money keeps people out of jail, betraying the democratic process of your country for personal gain in a violent fashion. Finally, I would like to take a look at Manuel López Obrador, the president of Mexico. He tried to be president 2 times before he actually made it. He always suspected fraud in the elections, but he never led his countrymen into a violent opposition to the process because he cared about people getting hurt, going to jail in the process of a violent attempt to overtake. We can't say the same thing for former failed President Trump. And so I think that the full weight of the law should apply to him as heading an insurrection against the United States. And so I rest my case. Have a great day, and may we have a great 2024. What could go wrong?